My philosophy back then was sleep when you're dead.
Absolutely, you need to do the training. You need to train hard. But if you recover, then you'll win. You know, the difference between the top 10 athletes and the 10th to the 20th is usually in their recovery, because all of them are going to train like crazy, right?
Yeah.
So training is critical, but whoever's recovering faster, recovering well, those are the ones that are winning.
Spartans, listen up.
We need to sleep better. So how do you sleep better? Never thought about it before. And so I met Jack, I met Essentia. Pay attention to the mattress you sleep on because it's loaded with chemicals.
Recovery, cooling, and pressure relief, all in one mattress. Up to 60% more deep and REM sleep. Less inflammation, faster bounce back. No toxins, no EMFs, no BS.
My buddy Jack over at Essentia, he's kind enough to give us a code for the Spartan community. That's DECA, that's Tough Mudder, all of us. Use Spartan 25, get a discount. Prioritize your sleep so you can sleep faster, you can do more burpees, you can train more, you can get healthier. When you sleep well, you live well.
Welcome to the Hard Way podcast with Joe DeSena, founder and CEO of Spartan Races. We're teaching you how to overcome your obstacles in your life the same way we teach our 10 million plus Spartans to overcome obstacles on the course, with insight from the smartest, most accomplished experts from every corner of the world. Get ready to elevate your life today.
Joe DeSena, CEO and founder of Spartan, host of the Hard Way podcast. Got my buddy Jack Dell'Accio on here, fellow Italian from Calabria, Canada. Really, you're from Canada.
Yeah, born and raised Canada.
Had a super easy life growing up.
Slept well.
Slept well. We'll get into that in a minute. But I always like to go into childhood. Where'd you grow up?
Grew up in Montreal. Born and raised in Montreal, Italian community. Both my parents immigrated at a very young age, which actually was really helpful for me, just because them becoming practically Canadians as children almost made me kind of almost like a third generation, because they were well integrated with community. Made it a lot easier on me, I'm sure.
Did they want you? Because I know in our neighborhood, our Italian neighborhood, they didn't want us speaking Italian. It was like it was considered, less than ideal.
Yeah, I've actually heard a whole lot about that. On U.S. Italians really wanted to distance themselves and force the English, which made sense at the time. Our family, my parents really tried really hard to make us speak Italian. My grandparents only spoke Italian, so for us to communicate with them was kind of interesting on our end. My parents met in Montreal, so they didn't move as a couple, as a family. They came with my grandparents, and they came from different regions. So many people in my community who were maybe from the same region, they all spoke the same dialect, which wasn't really Italian, right? If you know the regions of Italy, they're practically different languages.
Which is why, for those listening or watching, Italians use their hands so much to try to explain what the fuck they're saying to the other community, which was not so far away. So they spoke Italian to us, right? And not the dialects, and that for me has been priceless, because I worked in Italy for a while as well, and allows me to speak, I guess, a more appropriate version of proper Italian, I guess. Which is you played hockey up in Canada?
I still play in Florida.
Oh, you do?
Became an American actually this year, so I became naturalized. I moved my family here 12 years ago. I've always actually felt like this was
an American.
Natural, from childhood. I have cousins and uncles in the U.S. For me, the border didn't really exist mentally.
Sure.
So when the opportunity came 12 years ago to expand Essentia a lot much more, I moved the family to Florida. And
never looked back?
Never looked back. I mean, I enjoy visiting Canada. Great people, great friends, great family still up there. But
it's Canada.
It was really cool. But I tell my Canadian friends, I've never played more hockey than since I've moved to Florida.
Really?
I could play hockey 7 days a week here. There are leagues calling me to play all the time. I play twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week. Yeah, the hockey's been growing a whole lot, and I'm enjoying it.
And you're down in Miami?
Boca Raton, Palm Beach area.
How far from Miami? Pretty close.
Yeah, it's maybe, I guess, 50 miles from Miami.
You go to Panthers games, or?
I go to Panthers games.
Yeah.
I was fortunate. We work a lot with NHL players, so a lot of them use our products, and I used to consult with teams on sleep. So the last 2 years was kind of important to me. Was my younger son started to take an interest in hockey, but doesn't play. I love the fact that he's been taking an interest in hockey, and winning championships is not so easy for any city. And my last Stanley Cup championship was in Montreal in '93, and I celebrated it, went to the parades and all. So this time around, I said, I became a Panthers fan as well. And the opportunity came when the playoffs came. I brought him to every round.
Nice,
game.
nice.
And then we couldn't get tickets to Game 7 last year, the championships. Wouldn't you know it, that one of the the captain of the opposing team, as a user of our products, reached out and offered us complimentary tickets. So I got to bring my son to Game 7. He enjoyed that. We enjoyed the parade. And this year we did the same thing. Game 6, player of the Panthers offered him up to us because they're just hard to get for those key games.
Sure.
And I don't ask these players for anything, just because it's also a professional relationship as well.
Sure.
So the fact that these become available to us was amazing to bring
my buddy owns the Panthers, funny enough.
Oh, really?
Yeah, nice Italian boy, Vinny Viola.
Really fantastic.
He's had incredible. You guys, if you're watching and listening, look up Vinny Viola. He can't do anything wrong. Everything he's done his whole life has been right. He's an amazing guy, like all Italians, I think.
Well, they've done a great job. I play hockey with the previous owner of the Panthers, and we've identified these. We talk about it. That Viola's an incredible job. They purchased it, but there's a whole Italian thing with this Panthers. It's Bill Zito's the general manager.
Yeah.
They've got. Also, the consultation is the retired goaltender as well, also Italian. So there's a good Italian vibe.
He's very Italian. Belmonte's is Vinny's favorite restaurant in Brooklyn.
We do need to connect with him because I have my new factory in Boca Raton right now. Oh. We're open in a couple of weeks, but I also have a cell regenerator where we're going to help players recover faster from injury. So we're going to be getting the Panthers in there.
Okay, and no other team's going to be allowed to have it.
We'll be selective.
We'll make it an offer you can't refuse. So gravy or sauce?
Sauce.
Yeah.
Gravy is a New York thing, isn't it?
One side
as well.
Yeah, one side of my family was gravy. The other side was sauce. Alberto, who's behind the camera, doesn't know what we're talking about. But Italians every Sunday made their sauce, and my grandmother would be cooking for like 2 days. But then there's another whole part of these American Italians that'll call it gravy, and so there's always been this battle: gravy or sauce, but
I'm told that the gravy has to have the meat in it, possibly, but we just never use that term.
So for those watching, those listening, you don't know, Jack makes mattresses. When you think about the movie The Godfather, take it to the mattresses, right?
Yeah, we're more on the wellness side than the hideout.
No, he's got a zipper on the side. If you get one of his mattresses, you stuff the money in the mattress. You put your guns in one part. But how'd you get in the mattress business?
It's been 20 years now as a company, about 24 years since I started developing the product. A lot of these kind of path changes in life usually come out of something that personally happened. So I had 2 people in the family undergoing cancer treatments. Just became, for the first time, really aware at that age, which I was still pretty young at the time, where just realizing our environment, our home environment, sleep environment, was looking for something at the time for solutions that for people who had chemical sensitivities. And when you're going through chemo, you become hypersensitized to everything. And so looking for natural solutions, you can really come by them, just because when you go organic or natural, oftentimes you're compromising with performance. And so I had spent just under 4 years developing something that really excelled with performance and performance sleep for recovery for people who had ailments. And that was kind of the infancy of the company. And there's been a huge change for me, which has been kind of crazy when I look back on it, where, the first customers were cancer patients. The second wave were people in remission. The third wave was people trying to prevention. To then it finally snuck into wellness, organic living. But then finally, I came up with some new patents, which really helped with thermoregulation and EMFs and so many stacks of benefits that we have in our product, because we're obsessed with the performance side, that we started getting sports teams. So by 2009, we really started to work with NHL players, NFL players, and they were coming to us for looking for. That was really at the early stages where strength and conditioning coaches start to understand that recovery
is important.
Is really important.
Yeah.
You know? And
no, my philosophy back then was sleep when you're dead.
Yes. It's kind of interesting because, we've had this discussion where you've said, sleep is really important, but you still need to do the burpees, right?
Right.
But I would kind of almost reverse that. It goes, absolutely, you need to do the training. You need to train hard. But if you recover, then you'll win. The difference between the top 10 athletes and the top and the 10th to the 20th is usually in their recovery, because all of them are going to train like crazy, right?
Yeah.
So training is critical in your sport, right? But whoever's recovering faster, recovering well, those are the ones that are
they're getting a little better workout the next day, right? They're getting a little stronger.
Focus.
How many hours? What's the data show? How many hours of sleep is ideal?
So there's not a real number. Every person's different, right? So it's all about REM sleep and deep sleep. That's what you need to maximize. And that's one of the things actually we've obsessed and specialized in. We had a 75-player sleep study, all pros. And after 10 weeks, we identified 20 to 60% increase in REM sleep and deep sleep for everyone using Essentia. So, I mean, those are
crazy numbers.
Crazy numbers, right? Yeah. Now, the thing is, some players were able to achieve 3 hours of combined REM and deep with only 5 hours of sleep. Others required 8 hours of sleep.
I see.
So it's different for everyone. So, but the number is trying to, surpass that 2.5 and getting to 3 hours of combined REM sleep and deep sleep. And when you've achieved that in 5.5, 6.5, I guess the average, you see people doing that in 6 and 7 hours. I don't see many needing 8. And you hear the term 8 hours of sleep. But people who are healthy, well, are often not needing as much time to hit those numbers, because a lot of things
they're tired, they're sleeping well, and they're getting their deep sleep.
Whereas on the other hand, if you're not eating healthy, that's interrupting your sleep. You're going to need to stretch that out to 8 hours and possibly can't even do it well anyhow. People hitting 8 hours of sleep and getting 1.5 hours of deep and REM.
Not enough.
Not enough.
What's the secret sauce? Not that you want to give it away to your competitors, but there's lots of mattress companies out there. Why do we need an Essentia mattress?
We're stacking so much into this one product for it to, again, because we're obsessed about it. So we're getting rid of all the stimulants. Number one stimulants is toxins. So those toxins, so one, you need to go to organic. But we're not just the only organic game in town, right? But organic is just one of those elements. So once you've gone organic, you make sure that there's no coils. Those coils, some people call them organic mattresses, but once they have coils, to me, they're not really organic. Those coils are playing around with EMFs and become kind of like antennas, and they're creating a different type of stimulant, which is pain and not giving you the proper support. So one is proper support, spinal support, pressure redistribution, and organic. So we've covered that. That's the foundational part. But now where we really start to change the game is our products are made with quartz. So the quartz is basically become the dominant EMF in the room. So while you have all kinds of wireless communications going on, they're actually wreaking havoc. And we've been able to demonstrate this through blood work, where you can see that EMFs cause your blood to behave erratically. That erratic behavior basically blocks oxygen from flowing as freely as it should to be healing the body. So with our quartz formula, we've become an organic dominant wave. So the communications come through, but follow our wave, which don't wreak havoc on the cells. So that's another stack of how we do it. One of the big needle movers is thermoregulation. And we've done a lot of studies on this one, actually, because this was something that does move the needle in REM sleep and deep sleep. You hear about sleeping cool all the time. The thing is, people are mainly putting in mechanical devices to refrigerate yourself. You've had pads, you have dropped the room temperature. Those are temporary fixes that help you with the onset of sleep, but they don't move the needle for REM sleep and deep sleep as an all-night solution. Our product, organically, by its cell structure, allows your body heat to cool expel down rapidly. So what ends up happening is you have this drop in temperature, which is constant throughout the night. And as long as your body is constantly cooling down, your central nervous system is slowing down, and it's signaling that it's constantly time to rest. So it'll stay longer in deep sleep and REM sleep. And when it gets out of those cycles, it dips into them that much sooner. Combined,
and you're seeing this in all the data.
Yes, yeah, we do a lot of sleep studies. That's what we kind of obsess over. We're doing one right now, but every year we're doing sleep studies to just understand everything. And you know what? It's not for commercial purposes, because the version of my bed 5 years ago is still more advanced than anyone else. We're just beating ourselves just because we want to.
Yeah, do better. Yeah. I mean, that's a general philosophy for great companies, right? You want to replace your product or service with something better.
Yeah. Yeah.
The question we're getting all the time is there's so many mattress brands out there. There's so many types. How do you measure yourself versus them without just choosing your own? Is it the organic that makes the difference? What the quartz makes it? What is it? The combo?
It's really it's a combination of it all, and that's where the true value is. One is they're really dense, quality mattress. They're built really well. So they actually last really long, but they last not only in, hey, you're not going to change them because of the financial commitment. You're not going to change them because they're working for you. It's not like in 8 years and 10 years, they're still performing like day one. Yeah. So you don't need to change them. And so one, you're getting a better quality sleep, better quality of life. But I would also say we have a great value because of these stacks. You don't need to get a different pad to cool down your body. You don't need to get any EMF deterrents. So the technologies are all in there. Plus the fact that these are built for 20 years, you'd probably have to change your most commercialized mattresses. You'll have to change it 3 times before you change one of ours. And even at the highest end mattress, you'll at least have to change it once before changing one of ours. So you're getting minimum double the durability. So plus the stacks of benefits that you'd normally have to make other investments to get. I think we're actually a good value. You know, when we work with athletes, every time they look at our price, and I hate using this example because obviously these guys are great earners as well. They're always surprised on how inexpensive our mattress is. For the ordinary consumer, we're a premium product. Right. But they just realize for what they're getting, wow,
it's a good deal.
Just because a lot of people are trying to also take advantage of them and overprice them for things. But on our side, we really make these things just to be good, be performing. And that's the only way that you become an evangelist, actually.
Agreed. What's next?
Wow. That's, I've been so overwhelmed with the construction of our new Boca facility. So, right now that's been my focus for the last year. And
so what is it, a bunch of like sewing machines in there? Or like what?
No, because our real secret sauce is making the organic foam. So the organic foam is what we do. It's very heavy, has a lot of elasticity. So our new facility really allows less manhandling than we had on our Canadian factory, which is just really hard, really taxing on everyone. We should actually have an event for you there, the Spartan event.
I'm happy to do it.
They're like, 200 pounds of mattress, right?
I like it.
but ultimately, by automating a lot of that process, we're able to flow through a whole lot more. This new facility has a capacity of about 1 mattress per minute. We're also doing some work with the military as well, so we're really ramping up our output capacity. So that's been my focus, and I guess my focus after we open in just a few weeks from now is really just all going to be about, all right, now we fill the funnel, because now we're able to expand.
Got to sell mattresses.
Well, just because we're up until now, we've always been capped off where we couldn't provide.
Couldn't sell anymore.
Much more. We have demands from larger projects, and now our doors are open to be able to.
I love it. I love it. I got to come down and see the facility. My son's been sleeping on, thanks to you, one of the mattresses, and seems to be sleeping well. Can't wake him up in the morning.
Are we tracking his sleep yet?
We're not tracking his sleep. We need to do that.
We should get a sleep study done with Spartan racers.
I like that.
Really see. I think we can easily demonstrate how people will improve their performance at the races.
Most Spartans, I guarantee. I remember falling asleep. I was on a giant bike ride once, and I laid down on a gravel driveway. And I remember mumbling to my friend, like, these are the most comfortable gravel rocks I've ever laid on. So big believers on getting people really, really tired, including yourself. And you tend to sleep better.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Exhaustion it will definitely get that done. The question is, how do we move the needle and just get people operating at a different level? So it's not a measurement of how you're sleeping. We're going to measure how you perform. How much further were you able to go? How much faster were you able to go? And I'm convinced with the right recovery, their performance is going to be completely impacted by it.
How do people find you?
myessentia.com. Fortunately, our reputation has been solid, so we haven't had to be a brick and mortar location for the last 6-7 years. And people find us online at myessentia.com. We have a lot of learning pages. People learn about our technology. We try to make that all out there so people can learn about us more than anything else. One of the beautiful things about our customers, they eventually become evangelists, which is kind of nice. That means we're doing something right.
I love it. Thanks for coming.
All right, man. Thank you.
You're awesome.